Hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome. I did them myself because I these days, if I even bother to do anything with it, I do like press-on sticker guys because they are really cheap. And the ones that I got recently, I don't know what I was on when I picked them. Well, they are pretty. They were nice. But when I actually started putting them on, they were so ugly. So ugly. I was like, why did I do this? Why did I? What delusions was I on when I thought pale pink would like look even mildly good? Well, because of that, part of me thought about just like putting them on and dealing with it because I already got them and I started already applying them, and I was like, no, actually, we will not give in to the sunk cost fallacy. And so I just pulled out the nail polish and did my nails the old-fashioned way because I was too stubborn to buy more of them. Because you know what, I'll put in the effort. I'll actually do them for real. But that's so relevant to everything else going on right now. Like Mr. whose legs still need to come together. Legs are still coming together. They are still a pile of bits right now, but getting there. The important part. There's so many that I felt I wanted to talk about this, and then I proceeded to not write down a single one of them. I pretended you got the kit. Because it depends which kit you're talking about. I have Barbatos. I'm building right now. But there's a few other kits that I'm getting. There's one that I'm very excited about. There's one that I'm very excited about that I thought I wouldn't be able to get because I missed order. And I kind of just assumed it would be for me because I missed the initial pre-order period. Hello. Thank you for stopping in, Heather. But yeah, there's one kit that I thought I honestly would get because I missed the pre-order period, and I was like, I guess that's it for me, and that is the Armored Core kits. That is the Armored Core 30-minute missions kit. I kind of thought it was over for me, but I was in fact able to get one, and I'm very happy. I'm so excited. I have so many ideas for it. I have so many plans, things I could do. But that's something I will get. Barbatos, get it. Did. Looking at him. Barbatos has been... This is MG Barbatos. It's been pretty fun so far. I also have a high grade Barbatos that I've been hit bashing. I'm still theoretically, not theoretically, I literally am still working on the Barbatos scroll hit bash. But I love trying to remember what the heck I was doing. This is okay. Have this guy. Bubble. Pudding. Oh. trying to figure. Happy to be. Love when every single thought falls out of my head, like leave the wind. I'm looking at. Yeah. Gotta be, right? Okay. I remember now. We're putting this thing back together because it just wasn't working out. It just not working out the first time. This guy, to be guy, guys, matched. Oh. All things. Which I've already done before. I feel like I am not allowed to have any other thoughts in my head right now besides doing this, which is kind of funky, which is a little different. I am asking. I'm very asking. That's one of the that I love. I enjoy like talking in time, but also times I encounter just absolute doesn't. I think I will explode. I think I will burst in 10 million. I think I will burst in 10 million. That will be my life. Obviously, not 5. But I have I been. I as the So happy. Oh my god. Starting to have legs. His legs are coming together. Everything is finally working out. Oh, after how much? After everything I've freaking been through. Everything I've been through. And that's the other thing with not having been on Brunch and Build in a hot minute that I forget. I do have to tamper myself. I have to tamper myself with this. Okay. I gotta find the shiny silver. Where'd it go? Now that this has already come together, I can finally go back to having thoughts again, which is nice. Anyhow, what have I been doing this week? Stop doing. Things have been going. I feel like oh little Achilles heel. Got his little tendon. I like that I love these. I do really. Those always bring so much joy to me. Always bring me. Look at that! He has a leg! And now I have to do it again, because he has to have 2 legs. Of them. But surely, I was able to do it once, I should be again, right? Right? I always keep my phone on silent. I have like funny ringtones. It's really funny. I like getting like funny ringtones or just like having my phone have funny ringtones, and then I proceed to always have my phone on. Actually, I think it is still my my ringtone I think is still Marimba Lavania. But I forgot because I like always keep my phone in silent, so I never actually hear it. But I do love Marimba. I only had enough bits like 1 leg, but now I have to make the other leg. But anyhow, oh my god, I didn't even finish talking about the Armored Core kit I got recently. I'm so excited. I'm so happy I was able to get it. I genuinely it like absolutely crushed my soul when I had to cancel my Armored Core pre-order stuff, because when I got laid off last year, I just like, I mean, obviously I had to cancel all of my pre-orders and stuff because I was like, well, I don't know when I will be employed again and have income. So unfortunately, I just had to cancel all of my pre-orders that weren't already like paid for, and so included my 30-minute missions Armored Core kits, and I was like, it's over for me. I'm done. I will never ever be obtaining these ever again. But by the grace of God, and by God I mean Ron finding it at Hobby Time. I mean our manager who's in charge of finding it at our district. I was able to obtain one of the Armored Core, and I So happy about it. Plus, it's the one that I really wanted Steel Haze. I really wanted the Steel Haze one because the Noctreber is easily my favorite, like, kind of my favorite parts. Because I love the freaky reverse leg joints. I love having a really weird looking guy. It's still my prime armored core build. Speaking of which, I'm no longer a poser. No longer being a poser about it. I'm actually playing the game again. Maybe this time I'll actually finish it. But I've been having a lot of fun. I was like, man, I can't believe this game that I really like. I can't believe I like this game that I really like. You know? Why did I ever stop playing this game? And then I get back to the fight that was absolutely destroying me. And I was like, oh, that's why I stopped playing this game. But it's not a knock in the game. That's testament to my personal weakness. You know, it is not Armored Core's fault that I struggled. It's not Armored Core I was struggling. That's on me. And so I have been grinding. Honestly, I got back into it yesterday because my roommates went to go play Digimon. My roommates went to go play Digimon, and I don't play Digimon. They're off. I think they're playing in like a local buy, and I was like, "That's great, guys. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm just gonna hang out." So I'm like, you know what? You know what? Armored Core. Let's play Armored Core. I have free time. I have free time for once. Not for once. I have a lot of free time right now, but it's happening. We're just gonna play. And I had a really good time, but honestly, lately I've kind of just been. What I was doing yesterday was I was literally just grinding. I was just grinding because I need a bunch of money to buy new parts because I realized how much of my loadout was like. I realized how much of my loadout was like still standard like base kit parts that you just like get at the beginning, like your base frame stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe upgrading my mech will help, because I will not lie to you, I've spec'd everything into legs. I spec'd everything into legs, and so I'm like, what could possibly go wrong with this? What could possibly go wrong with speccing entirely into legs? The answer's nothing. But I did decide that I should probably start upgrading some of my other parts and stuff instead of speccing hardcore into build. Are there extra parts that I just forgot? Where's the rest of his leg bits? Where's the rest of his leg bits? They're cut out of both of these. I feel like I did build. Already build? Did I just forget? Did I just forget? There's no way, right? That's for some reason I have Wing Gundam Shield in this box. I do not entirely know why, but it's probably because Wing Gundam will for it in storage in his box, because where I'm at now I physically don't have enough space to display all of my Gundam at the same time. So I'm like, okay. So now I have them in kind of like a seasonal rotation, which is what I do with my art prints and stuff, because I own like a frankly ridiculous number of art prints, and I continue buying more of them. And so I rotate them season. Like, I have picture frames and I use them to rotate out season. Hello. Yeah. Where the heck? What go? I guess it. The heck? What do I even? God, oh no. Alright, those are magic cards. Oh, God. Oh god. I have a stack of them on my table. I'm really glad you guys cannot see the rest of my table right now. Good morning. Sorry, I'm dealing with something right now. Is it MG Barbatos? It is MG Barbatos. I will show it to you as soon as I finish. As soon as I stop having there be magic cards falling all over my table. Yeah. MG Barbatos. He's been a work in progress. We just finished leg 1. I have literally not even a week to build a fully mechanical robot arm, and none of my teammates have made progress over the entire semester. Oh, senior design. I lucked out a lot with my senior design group. When I did senior design, I lucked out a lot in the sense that my group was actually pretty competent. I had a pretty competent senior design group where I was like, oh, these, yeah. At times I felt like I was the weak link in this equation. Not that I didn't try. Like, I definitely did. I did the work that I was supposed to do, and we all contributed. And we were one of the only groups in our batch that had like at least something mildly functional to present. Though ours was not a project that could really super be done functionally, because it was about designing part of a car. So it's not like we had like a model of it. We had a model of it, and it actually came out pretty good. We tested it, the wind tunnel and everything. But I know in this regard, I am quite lucky because I have friends. I also have friends who went to design that just had the worst times imaginable. I remember once a friend of mine was showing me. So he was an ECE major, which is electrical and computer engineering. So his project involves a lot more programming, because I believe they were like they were programming like an autonomous robot kind of a situation. And I, for context, am so bad at I'm like comically bad at programming. I'm like, something about it just doesn't click with me. I don't understand. Like, it is not from lack of effort. I have had every like possible opportunity I could possibly have to like get good at programming, and I just like never did. I took when I took computer science in high school, I took AP Comp Sci. The teacher was like, I had a good relationship with the teacher, like to the point where he wrote one of my college recommendation letters. And so he like knew me very well. He tried so hard to teach me. And I had so many friends that were like, I had several friends who were like literal expert or super, super good at this and like tutoring me personally. And I still got like a C. Every other programming class I ever had to take, I have barely scraped by, despite constant tutoring and constant help and constant practice. I've only scraped by. Something about programming and that kind of structure thinking just has never clicked with me, and it never made sense to me. So I'm like comically bad at it. So that is all to say, I am not good at programming. I know enough that I can like parse code. I know the basics. I can, you know, parse things out. And I know enough that I can still put it on my resume, but I can't do anything too complicated with programming because I just don't know what I'm doing. But I recall one of my friends he was showing me the code written by his senior design group mate. And I looked at it and I was like, even I know this code is bad. Even I know this code is bad. Do these people, did these people actually spend 4 years studying electrical and computer engineering? Is this the world we live in right now? Even I know this code is garbage. It was just like so recursive and so like clunky. It was like 16 for loops in a row, all linking to like this giant table. And I'm like, what's happening right now? What am I looking at? Well, I knew what I was looking at. Stupid. But anyhow, I do understand that is usually how senior design groups tend to go, and that it's not fun. Godspeed. Good luck, truly. I hope you have a slightly better experience, but I'm not brimming with confidence based off of what you've described. Yonder was your classmate, Yonder Def? No. Mine is not finished yet. The MG Vidar, not just MG. Others I'd keep as a catalog. Yeah. Fortunately, my classmate, not Yonder Dev. I think I don't know what I'd do if my classmate was Yonder Dev. But it really did look like Yandere Dev's code. It was so bad. And I'm like, this is your senior thesis partner? This person theoretically is going to graduate with a degree in computer engineering? This is wow. Like, yeah. And so I understand that having a senior design group is sometimes full of untold horrors. I think I did make 2. Because I can't find these parts anywhere else. Is his other foot gone? Well, we're not gonna waste any more time looking for his other foot. It's somewhere here. It's bound to show up sometime, considering I definitely built a second foot. It's bound to show up eventually. So we're just gonna get started on the leg armor. We're just gonna start the leg armor, because at least we have one leg. Worst case scenario, we're gonna give Barbatos a peg leg. In the worst case scenario. I'm pretty confident in my ability to fashion him a little wooden peg leg. I'll find a branch outside, and I'll whittle it, and I'll fashion Barbatos a little peg leg. I feel like it's even more fitting, right? To give Barbatos a peg leg is Barbatos. And thus, that's my plan. So in the meantime, chugging along. Actually, where is the other F from? F1. We'll zoom out a little bit so you can better see this things. And this is tiny right now. That in frame. Anyhow, what else have I been doing this week? Why do I always have to talk about what I've been doing this week? What have you guys been doing this week, huh? What have you guys been doing this week? Why do I always have to keep talking about what I'm doing this week? I'm kidding. I love talking about what I've been doing. But I do also want to know what you guys have been doing. Because I have been trying to hide it, but I feel like I can't. And it's how absolutely congested I am right now. How miserably congested I am right now. So if I sound like I'm in a tube. If I sound like I'm in a tube, that's why. It's because I'm horribly congested. And it's because everything outside wants to kill me. Hello. That is because everything outside wants to kill me. So just pretend that I'm not horribly congested right now. And tell me how your week has been going. And I hope that it's been going better than me and my horrible congestion. The pollen. Yeah. That's why I'm so horribly congested right now. Because the outside just wants to kill me. Allergies. May. All day. Yeah. That's what life is. That's what life is. Yeah, this is just what it's like for me every year, where it's just, I just gotta live like this. The only time my allergies were even mildly manageable is when I lived in Manhattan, and even then, it wasn't like that much better. But now that I'm back in a place that has trees, it's, oh my god. Anthony's 1/100th Fire Lord that I won. Got delivered Thursday, so I'm priming spoons and testing out colors. That's so cool! Little. I really should. I got going on. Once you start working on it, I said even colors that you about. Yep. But that will be a problem. That is my internet real. Is it? Is my internet crashing out? Am I doing bad? Oh, it's back? Okay, good. I was like, for MG Narrative Gundam, let's go! I love animals. I love you, animal. In uni, I do not envy you. And waiting for MG Narrative Gundam. We love Narrative Gundam. I'm seeing if I can get, part of me is like, what if I just buy, G-Quacks now? Because Gundam G-Quacks, HD G-Quacks has already come out. G-Duck. G-Dukes has already come out, and I did see it. And I was very tempted by it, but I'm also like, it's going to be a big flagship Gundam. Hopefully they'll come out in other versions of it, but also at the same time, I think they didn't do. I was really hoping for like more RG stuff for like Ariel and the Witch from Mercury kits, but they kind of just don't really exist yet. But MG Narrative Gundam is really cool. This is the first MG I've built in like a hot minute. I kind of usually prefer real grades, but you know, or master grades. I want to buy a G-Quix and a miniature to make this Shinji meme. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. Such a good idea. Make it Shinji pose. G-Quacks, and it'll be very funny. Is the I'm really thinking about getting a G. Yeah, that wax G-Duck, quack, a G-Quack, a G-Quack, because it just looks fun. It looks fun and funky. I still have to start watching the anime because I was kind of waiting for it. I was waiting for it to cook a little more because I'm so not used to watching week to week anymore. It's like so bad. I just want to know what happens. I just want to know what happens. So I was also waiting for the anime to catch up with the movie because I did watch the movie, but apparently I think the content in the anime is slightly different according to my friend who has watched all of it. Hopefully I will have everyone the full scope of what's been goings on. Theoretically, it should my connection? Fine. Internet being funky, what the heck? Sorry about that. I hope it worked itself out. I know why it's doing that. My connection is bent. Hiding that not anymore. Let me know if it is getting worse. I'm tried testing stuff on my phone and it's fine. But if it still keeps stuttering and having problems, or if it gets worse, I will see if I can do something else about it, because I don't want it to do that. That's a binder. I don't. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. Hopefully that does something. Hopefully that does something. I'm sorry for the internet, guys. I did something, so hopefully I did something. I know I keep saying it, but I hope it helped something. I have issues with stuff. I didn't have a lot of issues connecting to stuff on my phone. Everything else is looking decent. I don't know. I bet it's got something to do with pollen. I know it doesn't, but it makes it... That's good, yeah. It makes me feel better to blame pollen. Because I'm so allergic. So bad. Fun fact about me. I am allergic. I'm allergic to tree fruits. I can't eat raw tree fruits. It's only when I eat fruits raw. Don't worry, I can have like apple pies and stuff. Banana bread. And it's not like a life-threatening allergy. But I have a terrible time whenever I eat like most raw fruits. And that is because of pollen. It's because I'm very allergic to pollen. I remember when I was like, I had to get an allergy panel done, and they just handed me like a packet of paper, like 3 or 4 sheets of paper, typed, double-sided, small font. That was just a list of plants that I'm allergic to, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's my life. So if I step outside, I just feel suffering. At least when I step outside during the springtime, I just feel suffering. Pain. So I am trying my very best to not sound insanely congested. But you know, I think I'm just gonna keep blaming pollen. I'm only allergic to bees. Well, that does suck though. I'm not allergic to bees, but I don't like bugs. I'm awful at dealing with bugs. Bees scare me anyway. But at least you have like a reason to be scared of bees, because that sucks. I'm just allergic to a ton of plants. Luckily, I don't really have many other allergies. Like, fruits are the only allergy I have, because that is a byproduct of pollen. Luckily, I don't have any food allergies. I think I guess unless you count like because I'm not technically allergic to pork. I'm Muslim. I just can't eat pork. But there have been, you know, 1 or 2 times in my life in which I accidentally ate pork. And it resulted in me being very sick because I am not used to eating pork. I never grew up eating it, and thus the 1 or 2 times in my life that I've eaten it accidentally, I had a terrible time. So I've developed, I guess, kind of like an allergy to it. Every single time I've by accident, I've gotten horribly sick, and it's not fun. Well, I guess that is kind of an allergy. Not really. I can't wait to cut out the little... I want to paint. No, I'm not very good at people painting. I've been practicing my people painting because I'm working on 30-minute sister custom stuff. I want to improve my painting skill, my people painting skills. I'm awful at painting, but hopefully I will improve a little bit. Ugh. My freaking allergies. And it makes me sad because it's so nice out. And I think it's extra messed up. I love the outdoors. I like being outside. I'm not someone that dislikes being outside or the sun. I love being in the sun. I've never had a sunburn in my life. I love being outside. And so when I go outside and I start dying, it makes already. I really got it. Writing down a bunch of things to talk about. I didn't write any of them down, and now I don't remember it. I don't like being outside. Is the sun? I live near the equator. Is hell? Oh my god, yeah. That's understandable. My family is from. Audio is kill, or were you just silent? No, I was just quiet. I just didn't say anything. For a second. I was concentrating. So if my audio is kill, I think I will be extra sad because my internet's already having problems. My audio feed looks like it's coming through correctly. It doesn't look like it is having problems. Ideally, it should. Ideally, it should not be. Oh. What the heck? Okay. Excellent. Oh, God. Come on. Yeah, hopefully audio is not kill. I'm just kind of hanging. I've forgotten every single thing that I wanted to talk about this week. Usually I have a bunch of things figured out that I want to talk about, but I don't really have a good way of getting into it, because the other thing that I've been doing is I've been watching Apothecary Diaries, but I did talk about it last week. Talk about Apothecary Diaries a bit last week. That is because it's like start watching more anime again, which is nice. I like watching anime, and it's kind of like a thing that I really like. But I think this applies to anything that I like, and it's that my interest in things always waxing and waning. A lot of my interests are very like cyclical. Like, I won't touch this thing for months, but then suddenly I'm consuming it all the time. And then, it'll just lie dormant, and it'll just kind of cycle through that. I think the most consistent interest I've had is model kits, and that's honestly a big reason. The stream is a big part of that, in that I have to be about it, but not that I did. But I've been watching more anime again, and that's because I got back into Apothecary Diaries. I've been watching. I'm fully caught up on the anime. Not caught up on the manga. I don't super want to read the manga, because I read a good chunk of the manga for Apothecary Diaries, and it is good. It is good, but it's one of those rare cases where I kind of like the anime handles some things better. It's not even like any differences, really. The anime just usually reframes some of the things and like changes slightly, like at what point you get certain pieces of information, kind of like to kind of center the perspective that you get information from. Or it's more like the anime kind of broadens your perspective, because manga is pretty like, if Mamo doesn't know something, you probably don't know something. But the anime changes things a little bit so that you as the viewer are a little bit more of like impartial. You're a little bit more impartial. And so I kind of like that better, because that way they can set the mysteries up in a more compelling way. Set up certain things in a more compelling way. And so I like it a little more, actually. I like it ever so slightly more. So I don't super want manga, even though it is good. It is very good, but I don't super want to read the manga, because the anime does a really good job of these things. But also, I'm fully caught up in the anime. It's still coming out. I've watched. I met up with one of my friends yet that we could watch the new episode that just came out, and things are really cooking right now. There's so much happening because of Cat. Yes, I love Mamao. I love Apothecary Diaries. It's very good. If you haven't watched it, you should probably watch it, because it's good. And I remember going on a whole rant about it last week, because of how, like, I am very particular about how people categorize demographics and genres, and why I think Apothecary Diaries is different, but it's not like that different. It's just different from. It's really not as like genre bending and demographic bending as people think it is. But it's very like, but that's like a good thing. It's a good thing. I love Apothecary Diaries, and I think if you haven't seen it or you haven't watched season 2, it's good. Pretty crazy right now. There's a bunch of politics stuff that like has been getting set up. That is like, these things are starting to hit the fan, and I'm like, let's go. Everything's really good. I don't want to spoil anything, because I think it's people should watch it. I gotta read it. Yeah, you should read it. The manga is good, but I I think I just mentioned, I won't lie to you, I kind of like anime more than the manga. There are some things that the manga does that I like more, where there are like certain scenes that are, I mean, obviously an anime can't adapt every single scene, so I like some of the scenes in the manga that aren't in the anime, and I wish they were. But at the same time, I do think that the way the anime frames things, I prefer it because I like the more impartial perspective that the anime gives versus manga, which is pretty tied to Mao Mao's perspective, where there are certain pieces of information. I think what I mean by how it changes the flow of information is like, the manga is pretty strictly from Mao Mao's point of view. If Mao Mao doesn't hear a conversation, then you don't get to know what they said. As the reader, you don't get to know what they said until Mao Mao figures out what they said. But in the anime, they changed it a little bit so that even if Mao Mao can't hear a conversation, as the viewer, you still get to hear it. And so that it does, and not in the sense that it like gives away the mystery before you know it. It like sets things up in a more interesting way, I feel, that you have a little more context to things as things unfold, that you can kind of like see the trail that Mao Mao is going on as she gets there, and you can kind of like see the direction and like kind of figure it out for yourself a little bit as the mystery develops, and then see Mao Mao also get to that conclusion, and I like that more. I think it's a more interesting way than kind of how the manga frames it, which is a little more like, you are seeing things through her eyes, and if she doesn't know something, you don't know something. You are Mao Mao, and that's kind of how it is. And I think that's fine. But, like I said, I think I kind of prefer the anime's perspective a little more. Not that the manga is bad. The manga is also very good. But, honestly, if you can, I would probably recommend the anime a little more. It's really good. Obviously, it's popular, so the animation is really good. This anime that I watched a while back that reminded me of Apothecary Diaries, called Raven of the Inner Palace, which is pretty similar to Apothecary Diaries in the sense that it's like kind of standoffish MC, and it's also like it's a mystery. Like it's kind of like an episodic mystery, and it's in a similar setting, like historical, in like Chinese inner palace court drama. Like that is also the setting, but instead of it be like, the mysteries in Raven of the Inner Palace though are more supernatural focused. It's like a very different context, and so instead of kind of having the main character like Mao Mao, who's a little bit more of like a traditional like Sherlock type of intelligence, like Sherlock, like everything is kind of solved logic. And Raven of the Inner Palace, the mysteries are solved more by resolving interpersonal conflict, because everything is of like a supernatural nature. It's a lot of like, oh my god, this person's getting haunted, you gotta figure out why, or like this weird natural thing is happening, why is it happening? And it's almost always tied to like almost always tied to interpersonal conflict, especially in the like Chinese like ancient Chinese court palace drama, like that kind of insane politics. It's framed by like that kind of insane politics. It's a lot more about resolving these interpersonal conflicts, and I really like that. And I think Raven of the Inner Palace is really good. And if you like Apothecary Diaries, you'll probably also like Raven of the Inner Palace, because I think it's quite good, and I'm the only one who's allowed to be correct. Everyone else, wrong. I've been doing that. I also started watching. I can never beat my love of awful like isekai villain, otome isekai villainous nonsense. It's not the same, but it's very similar, and that is as long as it's well written. It's very well written. It's really well written. Raven of the Inner Palace is very good. I think it's very well written. I also love how there's so much like, it's so much more complicated than that. There's a whole thing about like gods and ghosts and supernatural like magic powers. There's a whole other thing. There's like ancient people that have magic power. It's so much, but it's not bad. I don't mean it's not like it detracts from it. It's really good, and I like how it balances everything and how it balances all the conflicts, and it's very good. It's very well written. I would highly recommend. And it reminds me a lot of Apothecary Diaries. It is like, it's not the same thing. It is pretty distinctly like its own thing. But anyway, I can't beat the isekai villainous stuff, and so I've been watching Gorilla God's Go-To Girl, which is it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so stupid. Like, it is pure nonsense. It's pure nonsense. It's so funny. So like, what am I even looking at right now, actually? Because functionally, it's got the typical like girl goes to like special vague Western fantasy magic school, but she just wants to blend in. She's a noble, but her family's poor, and so she just like everyone bullies her because her family's poor. Oh my god. But then she gets like chosen to have these special powers. But I like that she's like, I never wanted to be the chosen one. And so she's just like hardcore she spends basically the story being hardcore in denial. It's like, nope, I don't have these special powers. I'm perfectly normal. There's absolutely nothing happening that is out of the ordinary. I'm just a perfectly normal girl. That's it. And it's really fun. Except the big difference is that her magic powers is that she has the physical strength of a gorilla. And every now and then, it just like proceeds like a normal kind of, she's got, of course, she is like scouted by the knights and like the only group there, and so of course like knight captain like has a crush on her, and of course he's the knight captain that everyone's in love with, got a crush on her, as it goes. But every once in a while, you just see a gorilla behind her, because the gorilla shows up as like the gorilla is a god that has blessed her. Is the way that this story works, right? Is that could she take 100 dudes in a fight, no weapon, like 200%? Like, that first guy is getting turned into a burger patty. It's over. She would in fact just cook them. Would just cook them all. So the way this world works is that everyone gets like blessed by an animal god, and you inherit like the physical attributes of that animal. And it's like fun, most people get like pretty normal ones, like this guy there's one who's like blessed by the cat, and he's got like really good eyesight and really good balance. And people who are blessed by the peacock god are like really pretty and usually go into like fashion and stuff. Wow. But she gets blessed by the gorilla god, which is like super rare and special and just make like insanely powerful physically. And so she's like, okay. And she's just like living her life. But then a guy like falls off a building and she's like, oh my god, I can't just, watch this guy, I can't just watch this guy die. And so then a gorilla, like the after image of a gorilla is behind her, and she just like runs at 40 kilometers per hour. Yeah, she would just run at 40 kilometers per hour and up a building and catch this guy. And it's like, oh my god. It's so fun. And then the gorilla gives her a thumbs up. And the guy is like, of course, he's like swooning because now, of course, he's also in love with her. And the gorilla is like giving her a thumbs up. And it's really fun. It's really fun. It does all the like typical shoujo tropes. There's she has to run away somewhere with her crush. And she like is a little physically close to him. And she's like blushing. And in the background, you see the gorilla also blushing. Is it the usual royal family gets a dragon lion because those are the usual ones? Oh yeah, 100%. Like 100%. I think this one, the royal family is lions. The duck power would be OP, you can swim and fly. Yeah, honestly. Because there's people who like have bird powers and they just get to fly. We haven't met anyone with duck powers yet, but that does just remind me of Princess Tutu. And unfortunately in Princess Tutu, having the duck powers is not a benefit. Having duck powers is not a boon. But very funny. I've also been really liking Gorilla God's Go, because it's just like a normal shoujo fantasy romance. And then there's just a gorilla sometimes. Like, that's just how it goes. And like, it's like the most normal thing. It never gets acknowledged because technically only the viewer can see the gorilla. She can't see the gorilla because she's blessed by the gorilla god. And so it's kind of like the spirit of the gorilla that possesses her. And it's just like this cute little anime girl, like she's like gotta go to the fancy party. Oh my god, and she like doesn't have a dress. She doesn't have like the right kind of dress. Oh my god. So she wears like this really ugly one and then she gets bullied. And they try to do the typical like, the villainess tries to spill juice on her dress. And it like completely the typical setup of like, oh now, but she also got a really pretty dress as a gift from her parents, who's like, oh yeah. She got like a really pretty, but she's like, no, I could never wear a dress this beautiful. I deserve it. But instead of the typical setup of, oh, and then the villainess spills juice on her really ugly dress, and so she has no choice but to go put on the really pretty one. She gets possessed by her gorilla reflexes and catches the juice before it spills. Because, yeah, and then the gorilla just shows up because she gets possessed by the gorilla. And she catches the juice, and everything is fine. But of course, something else still happens that makes her change into the super pretty dress that her family gave her, so that, of course, all the male leads can like be like, oh my god, I didn't know that that's what you look like with a dress. I can't believe this. It's great. It's a great time. It's so fun. So fun. Wait a minute. I up here. Something that's snap it. Snapping. Nothing is snapping it. I'm supposed to have something snap fit. Nothing is snap fitting. I'm gonna call that one a good knock. I think this is correct. I do think this is the correct way it's supposed to be. It's so funny, especially since it's like you meet a character, right? You meet a character who's pretty obviously like the prince, and his name is Leohart, but it's like a mystery and he's blonde, and it's like a mystery what animal he's possessed, like what animal is his like blessing, and it's so funny. It's so funny. Such a good time. And I'm like, man, I should, again, I can't, that I like is, I enjoy doing the thing that I like. Recently, I've been reframing tasks and activities in a different way because I started seeing a different therapist, because I think I mentioned this last week. My regular therapist, he just had to go on sudden extended leave. And I was like, I really like my other therapist, but I think she like called out one week, and I was like, okay. And then later I get a call from, because she's part of like a larger practice. I get a call from the head of the practice, and it's like, yeah, so she is on extended leave, and we don't know when she's coming back. And I'm like, okay. They did offer to like match me with someone else for the time being, and so I started seeing a therapist. And I do really like my old therapist, but I also really like this new one. Very nice. And it is a little bit refreshing. It is a little bit jarring sometimes, but refreshing to have a therapist that like knows what D&D and Final Fantasy are. And I was like, huh? And at one point she compared how I struggle with managing my time to like having spell slots. And I was like, that's a really good metaphor, actually. That sounds so accurate. Now I've started like organizing tasks as like spell slots. And the tasks include not just like traditional tasks where like, oh yeah, I gotta go vacuum, and I gotta do laundry, and I gotta fill out this form, and I gotta do this thing. It's also just like tasks include things that I like doing, because sometimes, usually whenever I have free time, I end up with like decision paralysis, and I end up doing nothing, and I feel really bad about it. Even though there's a ton of things that I like doing and a ton of things I want to be doing. And it is terrible, because I'm like, okay, I want to exercise more. I started going to the gym, and my goal is going like 2 or 3 times a week. My goal is at least go 2 or 3 times a week. And if not, I do a bit of exercise at home. But that's like a pretty high effort task. But it's still something like I want to do. But then sometimes, you know, because I know I have a pretty steady work schedule now. So I'm like, oh, okay. I can usually plan around my work schedule pretty confidently. Because for a long time, my work schedule was kind of like fluctuating a lot. I didn't have like consistent shifts. But now I have like a pretty standardized schedule. It's a lot easier to plan around. And so I'm like, oh. So I generally like know that, oh, I have this much free time. So like if I do my exercise in the morning, I still have time before I go to work or something. And I'm like, oh God, what do I do? I'm like, oh God. But I'm like already kind of tired, but I'm like, oh, there's this I remember there's this thing that I wanted to do, like whether it's playing something or watching something or writing something or doing something like that. Even like something I'm doing for fun. But I'm like, oh, but I'm too tired to like work on writing this thing. But also I'm like, but then I'll feel bad if I don't do it. And then I end up doing nothing. And so I've started like planning out, like putting together things as if they were like spells and are worth like different levels of spell slot. Because yeah, like working on model kits and stuff, like working a little bit on my model kits like that is a pretty like low level spell. It's something I can do that doesn't actually, at least usually depending on how involved the project is, if it's putting something together, it's a pretty like low level spell. But if it's like I have to bust out my airbrush and start doing stuff with that, that's like definitely a higher level spell slot because that's now a lot more involved. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, left. Oh. Oh, now we do. But he has one leg. Look at that. He's got a leg. What kind of tasks would be your cantrips? Yeah, that's also like what I was thinking about. Like, what kind of tasks would be a cantrip? A cantrip would be like reading webtoons on my phone. Like, that's a cantrip. I can just like, I do it all the time. It's something I like. I can kind of do that doesn't spend a lot of energy. That like I can kind of do without feeling like even a little bit tired afterward. It's just like reading a few chapters of a manhwa on my phone or something. Like, that's a cantrip. Or sometimes it'll even be like physical tasks. Like, there's some tasks that I actually like don't really mind doing. I like doing laundry. Funny, I like doing laundry. It's like, I don't know why. It's a task that I like kind of weirdly enjoy. Something about folding clothes, something about like sorting laundry and stuff like that. I like doing. I like sorting things. If it involves sorting things, that's a cantrip. I love sorting things. Putting the dishes away, I have to sort all the cutlery. Excellent time. I'm having a good time right now. That's a cantrip for me. First level spells are like still things that I like doing, but aren't as quite involved. Like, I would say working on a model kit is a first level spell. Because it's not 0. I wouldn't say it's a cantrip. Like, it involves an amount of effort in the sense that I have to, like, figure out what I'm gonna work on and get my tools and, like, be in this space. So it's like, but it's, like, not hard. It's something I can do quite easily, that I like doing. Or even, like, some chores, too, that are, like, first-level chores, like, doing dishes, pretty easy. I got my dishwashing gloves, I put on my podcast, and I just, whip that out, and it's not that hard. It's usually something I do, like, whenever I'm downstairs anyway, whenever I'm in the kitchen anyway, I usually just clear out the sink, because I'm the only one who lives here that doesn't work a 9 to 5. I only work, like, 20 hours a week, so it's really not, so I have more time than everyone else does. So it's not too hard for me. This thing. I do have this. And so I've literally been putting together like an actual just like character spell sheet. List out my tasks so that I can just like, whenever I'm like kind of struggling to figure out what to do and what I can do, what my options are, I just look at my little spell sheet. And I'm like, oh, I feel like at this point in time, I didn't go to the gym, so I'm not as tired. So I feel like I can do like a level 2 or a level 3. But sometimes I just came home from something, I'm like, I have nothing. I think I can only cast cantrips right now. I think I can only do cantrips right now. We're just gonna sit here, we're just gonna read some manhwas, and that's gonna be it for me. Or I'm just gonna like sort through. Lately I've been sorting through and reorganizing all of my TCG stuff. I don't have that much of it, but I have an amount of TCG stuff that I've accumulated. And it's not really organized at all. Plus, I also am like, I was looking through my my MTG cards. That's why I have a pile of them on my table that fell over in the middle of stream, and I had to clean it up. But I have a pile of magic cards on my desk. That's because I've been sorting through all of my magic cards lately, and being like, okay, which of these do I think I will actually use? Which of these will I actually be using? Do I have any plans on using? I do play Magic sometimes, but again, very casually. I have like my 2 pet commander decks. I think there's a third one that I'm kind of building too. And like, I'll draft from time to time. No, I'll play a pre-release if I think the set's interesting. But for the most part, I am very casual, and so I'm like, there's a bunch of cards that I have that I just like, really, I have zero intention of ever doing anything with this. So I've just been sorting through them and figuring out like, oh, which of that, like sorting out my commons, uncommons, rares, and stuff like that, and being like, oh, this is actually like a pretty good card that's worth a few dollars that I'm really not going to be using. So I should probably just like sell it. So I've been slowly working through my MTG collection. Someday I'll do that with my Wheatcross collection too. I finally used the Precon Command deck for the first time against 3 other players in one. Nice. Precons are like not bad. The 2 commander decks I have are just modified precons. Like, it's just like a fun casual thing. It's just like a fun casual way to play. And there's some pretty good precons out there. People have been really liking the Dragonstorm ones. People have been really liking the Dragonstorm ones for good reason. Fun. Pretty solid decks to begin with. Let's see. Yeah. What deck did you play? I'm kind of curious. What did you play? Precon commanders I have are from a few years ago. I think one of them is my like favorite one is my vehicles, my mech one. It's from Neon Dynasty. I think it's like the actual commander's like Kotori, but I don't play with Kotori as the commander. I play with Shorikai, the big robot, as the commander, and then I just modified the hell out of it. That's how I play. That's how I play the game. Red-green dragon deck. My Mardu vampire deck is casually worth over $300. Yeah, like there's some precons out there that are like crazy. There's even like and custom commander decks too. I forgot the name. It's a red-green dragon deck. I don't. If it's one of the newer ones, all the Dragonstorm commanders are like 3 color, so I couldn't tell you which one it is. There's a couple that have red and green. Might have been Teamer if it was from Dragonstorm. Atarka. I only a little bit know that one. That's fun. I'm glad you had a good time. At least, well, I hope you had a good time. I know the Mardu precon right now that came out recently is actually worth more than it actually costs, which is very funny. It's worth like quite a bit more than it actually costs. That's why people have been like buying it a lot. But I think part of it is that it's actually not that good of a Mardu deck, but people just want to get the precon and get all those cards for significantly cheaper than they otherwise would. So you can use it to build a better Mardu deck. I think that's fun. I hope you had a fun time. I think the occasional commander is time. And recently I started building commander deck. It's still like, I say building. It's very slowly coming together, but no. We're trying our best. It's mostly because I have... Oh my god. It's mostly because I have, I got the Junji Ito Secret Lair cards as a gift when they came out. They came out around my birthday, and a friend of mine got them as a gift for me. And so, I still have them. And I look at them now, and I think I have the Junji Ito Elish Norn, and I realize, because we have that, I think we got in that card at tabletop once, and I looked at the price, and I realized that's like an $80 card that I'm doing literally nothing with. I'm like, oh man, I have to do something. I have to do something. I have several of them too. I have all the Junji Ito Secret Lairs. I'm like, okay, I have to do something. I gotta do something with my Junji Ito cards because they're really cool, and obviously I'm not gonna sell them. I really like them, and they were a gift, and so I don't want to sell them, but also I don't want like, I think cumulatively they're probably worth like almost $200. I'm like, they're just sitting in my binder. I have to do something. I have to do something. I can't just... So, I've decided to like actually build a deck with them and try and put something together. So, we are trying our best. So, I've been getting a little bit back into MTG. But someday I will also finally crack into my big box of cross cards, and I want to play more. Man, speaking of TCG, I played a game of, I've been testing out my Gundam deck. I've made a Gundam deck. It's been in the works for a little bit now. But I put together a Gundam TCG deck, and I'm not someone who plays for meta, okay? I play to have fun, and sometimes that involves building decks that aren't necessarily the most advantageous, but they're the most fun for me. And for me right now, it involves building a unicorn-based deck, even though it makes zero sense with just the beta cards, because there's zero card support for it. These are only the beta cards. The set hasn't actually come out yet. So my unicorn deck is not very good. But I'm like so determined to make it work. Really, I have a full playset of both Unicorn and Banager, because Unicorn is my favorite mobile suit, okay? And I'm like so determined to make it work. But last game I played, my deck bricked so hard. I didn't shuffle it very well. Part of it was my fault. I didn't shuffle it very well. So since I like sorted all of my cards and structured my deck a little bit, and so I just kept pulling nothing but pilots, and I was like, oh no, it's over for me. And so it was sad, but I am still like trying my best to make it work. I'm trying my best to make it work because I'm like, okay, I know you're not supposed to have like that many pilots, but I just kept pulling pilots. I don't have that many pilots because it's like you're probably only supposed to have like the recommended amount is like a dozen pilots, and I think I have like a dozen or so pilots. I don't think I have like amount, but I just didn't shuffle too good, and so I just spent the whole game drawing pilots and like 2 mobile suits. And my friend that I was playing against was playing green white, or was playing blue white, of course, and just bounced everything that I wanted to do. The 2 mobile suits that I did end up drawing just got bounced back into my hand constantly, and I was like, I guess I'll die about it. And so I did. But I'm like really determined. I do think that I'm going to keep. I want to play. I want to play Gundam, but there's no one that wants to play Gundam with me. Because there's only a very limited amount of people that even have beta kits. And an even smaller amount of people that are actually like trying to actively deck build with them and play for real. And so I just want to play Gundam, but there's no one that wants to play Gundam with me. And I just want to test. I just want to keep testing my deck because everyone else wants to play other card games that have like that actually exist. And I'm like, I want to play Gundam. Honestly, I've never felt the desire to try hard before. I've never felt the desire to try hard at TCG before, but I do feel it for Gundam. I'm like, I actually do want to be good at this game. I actually really do want to be good at this game. I want to try. So I am. It's like, I think the first time I really actually have felt the desire to like try hard. But no sad. And out there has also cares about the Gundam TCG. Has the beta kit, has a deck they want to play. Let me know. I'll show up. I just want to. But I have to wait till July until people actually have cards to play with. And then people will actually want to play the game. Play it now. So, life is so difficult. Life is so difficult. Anyway, it is 12:57. Okay. 3 minutes early. We're 3 minutes early. But I'm really hungry. And I have salmon burger waiting for me downstairs. And I've been thinking about it for the past 20 minutes. And I want to go eat it. I'm hungry. I want to go eat my salmon burger. I want to have lunch. It's 1 o'clock. I feel like this is a good stopping point. I don't want to like super start working on leg 2 yet. And so now that leg 1 has leg 1, he's almost looking like a real Barbatos. I'm very happy. And I will be well, I'll be back. Okay, what if I just do one more? What if I just do one more piece? To get the D runner. The next oh no, I dropped it. Get the shiny runner. I love when I get to do stuff with the shiny runner. I'm gonna do one more piece and then I'm gonna go have lunch, okay? One more thing. And then I'm actually gonna go have lunch. Then back. I'll return. Internet problems. I will return next week. Plus internet. Everything's okay. Everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out for everyone too. I think things are gonna go well for you. With whatever university stuff you're working on or projects you're working on, I think things are gonna go. It's nice out, which means everything's okay. That's my personal opinion. I don't believe in horoscopes. I don't believe in astrology or anything like that. But I am pretty confident in that. Nice day out. Everything's gonna be nice. I believe in weather-based astrology. Whatever. I made that up. I don't think that's real. I believe in weather-based astrology. My fortune depends entirely on whether or not it's sunny out. That's what I truly believe. And it's really nice out. So I think everything's good. I think that applies to everyone. So if it's nice out, okay. Whatever you got going on, fine. I'm gonna go. That's how I feel. If it's nice out, I'm happy. Everything's gonna work out. And with that, I am going to go have lunch. For continuing work on MG Barbatos with me, I will be back next week to also continue MG Barbatos. Hopefully next week I will have more Armored Core done. I will have watched G-Quacks, caught up on G-Quacks, and have stuff to talk about it with. Have stuff to talk about. I'll write things down. I'll remember to write more things down. That I won't forget every single thing again. But that's for me of next week. Anyhow, thank you as always. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I hope you spend it less congested than I am. I will see you all next week. Bye-bye!